Be careful what you wish for. Must have been a very good night in the pub when the Ness of Brodgar archaeological team decided, after field work had ceased and the site had been backfilled in 2024, that it would be a good time to conduct a thorough magnetometry and resistivity and ground-penetrating radar survey of the site. 20 more years of data, anyone? Personally, I blame TimeTeam. Yeah, we thought it was all over.
It's not now.
No. Well, the digging bit of it anyway. But now, because of what is being described by Nick Card, who's the lead archaeologist at the Ness of Brodgar, as a big surprise, it seems that we're going to get fresh excavations starting at the Ness of Brodgar in July next year. Now, precisely what that big surprise is, no one is saying. So we, Rupert, thought it would be a good idea if we dug a little deeper.
Yes, we did. And a bit like ground-penetrating radar, really, there are limitations to how deep you can go. Yes, they're being very, very cagey about it all, aren't they?
Yes, indeed. Welcome to the show, folks. It's Michael here.
Rupert here.
Shall we start digging then?
Yeah. I think we should. Well, for those of you that don't know, the Ness of Brodgar, so it's a strip of land between two locks, basically.
An isthmus.
An isthmus. So we've got the Ring of Brodgar on one side and Stennis on the other. And they have been excavating there for 20 years and uncovered, I think, is it 40 buildings I think they've uncovered during the period of those excavations. It's quite staggering what has been uncovered. As Michael said just a minute ago, that was it. They were covering it all over. They've backfilled the whole site during 2024. So that was the last excavations, leaving it all for future archaeologists when techniques have fundamentally changed again, and then something has cropped up in their most recent surveys to open it all up again,
and to cause headlines.
The guys, and to cause headlines. Yes. Now, I don't want to sound unkind. I think that they're sounding very, very excited about this and not telling anybody exactly what it is they've found on the ground-penetrating radar. So I really do hope it's as exciting as it seems to be, because if it's not, and there's a lot of people are really going to be very excited to see what's coming out of this. What's made a difference with the ground-penetrating radar here is that, unlike magnetometry and general geophys, you only get things in 2 dimensions, but ground-penetrating radar gives you 3-dimensional scans, and so they've been able to scan down to, I don't know what depth, but certainly deep enough, and they're getting 3-dimensional readouts that we're all excited about. Don't know what it is.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to read from Nick Card's own entry on the Ness of Brodgar website. It's not a news item. It's his own sort of blog on the website there. I'll do it in a few moments. But Nick Card, his partner in crime here is John Gator. Now, fans of TimeTeam will recognise the name immediately. He always has been there. Kind of, sort of not in the background, but he's been the geophys guy on a lot of occasions. And this is what he does, and he's been doing it for ages. And we wouldn't be talking about it now if he hadn't taken his geophys equipment on holiday in 2002 to Orkney. where he did his survey while on holiday in 2002 was the thing that resulted in people them putting in a spade in the ground on that hump on the Ness of Brodgar in the first place. I mean, they'd known the hump was there for a long time. There'd been loads of speculation about what lies beneath this 250 metre by 100 metre wide hump of land, between the Ring of Brodgar, don't forget that, and the stones of Stennis, two of the most extraordinary stone circles in the whole of the British Isles, and there they are within a few hundred metres of each other, and this lump in between. So, yeah. I mean, at first, the results were so good that even John Gator himself thought it was a geology, not buildings. It couldn't be that good. And now here we are, over 20 years later, because excavation started there about the same time that we were making standing with stone, or started making standing.
Staggering, isn't it? 2004, I think they started, didn't they, excavating?
No, they did a few test pits. We didn't start proper excavations until later. I think it's 2006 or 2007, which is when we started pointing cameras ourselves.
It is, yeah.
But as Rupert says, the results, since then, have been staggering. We could do a whole 2-hour programme just about the Ness of Brodgar and all the buildings and the elaboration of the buildings and what's gone on. But now I think it's best to read Nick Card's own words rather than me regurgitating them or trying to regurgitate them. So the title of the item that's on the Ness of Brodgar site is "We're Back on Site. TimeTeam dig plans confirmed for 2026." And Nick Card says, "Life is full of surprises. Just when I thought my trowel had been hung up for good, my second best trowel, as the first was buried in the backfill of Trench P, and my digging genes committed to the rubbish, it looks as if I will have to re-excavate them. As you'll be aware, 2024 saw the official end of excavation and the trenches all backfilled. However, this summer we undertook a further phase of work, revisiting our earlier geophysical survey across the site with the latest technology to hopefully add further definition to the Ness complex. We also felt it was a fitting end to the fieldwork at the Ness to sandwich the excavation between the initial geophysical survey undertaken by John Gator back in 2002 that helped to identify the site, and a final season of geophysics to complement the excavated results and act as a fitting conclusion to the filming undertaken by TimeTeam in 2024, due for release in early 2026. Yes, if you didn't know it, TimeTeam have been filming all this and filming the backfill. Yes, I mean, that's what I meant by careful what you wish for. I don't know how much data they were expecting to get out. They've already got enough data to last them 10, 20, 15, 20 years anyway. That's why the excavation stopped, because they couldn't, you can't keep up with the data that keeps coming out and logging it and all the rest of it. So, kind of, what were they thinking? Over the last 20 years, techniques and data processing have come on in leaps and bounds, so we were not overly surprised that the magnetometry and resistance techniques we re-employed provided much clearer results and defined certain features much more clearly. The big surprise came with the deployment of ground-penetrating radar, a technique we had previously only used on a very limited basis due to the labour-intensive nature of the kit we had in the past. Recent developments this time allowed us to survey the whole site in a matter of a few days, thanks due to the involvement once again of John Gator of TimeTeam and SUMO Geoservices and Mike Langdon of Guideline Geo. State-of-the-art equipment. never before used in Scotland, was dragged behind a quad bike, allowing gigabytes of data, some 2 billion data points, to be quickly gathered across the site. Unlike the magnetometry and resistance surveys, which basically provide a two-dimensional plan of the site, the GPR produces time slices every 6 centimetres in depth across the site that can be stitched together in post-processing to produce a 3D model of the underlying archaeology. Exciting. This will allow us to get a better understanding of the development of the site over time, especially in the unexcavated areas. Full analysis of the GPR results are still ongoing. As you'll see in the photo of a sneak peek, at the TimeTeam's initial GPR results, which I'm showing on screen now, which doesn't have any surprises in it, so
no spoilers for us.
Don't hold your breath. The results threw up quite a few surprises, but one in particular was unexpected to say the least. And this is the one they're not talking about. A form of a feature that seems totally at odds with what we are used to seeing at the Ness, a site that can be seen to be defined by straight lines and rectangular forms from the architecture down to the art. So what he's saying is that the surprise element in the site is distinct from what they expect, which is rectilinear and squared off buildings, which is what they're used to. So there's the clue. What they've found is probably circular. And would that be a fair guess, do you think?
I think that's a fair guess. Yes. I wonder if it's a well.
So it says, whatever it turns out to be, this is an exciting discovery, evidence for potentially a hitherto unknown chapter in the story of the Ness and worth pursuing through limited small-scale excavation. So what we intend to do with the funding provided by TimeTeam is open a small trench to investigate this anomaly. Yet more excavation. Wonder where it will lead to. Cripes. The well-defined, discrete nature of this feature, we hope, means that unlike the rest of the Ness, we're dealing with relatively simple, single-phase archaeology that can be easily dealt with and completed within 4 weeks. So we propose to be back on site in July 2026 with a small team of diggers, which is already in place, by the way, and we will not be requiring volunteers with input and filming by TimeTeam. As in previous years, the excavation will be open to the public, but please don't expect to see the type of archaeology you've seen in the past, something a bit different. Please also note, to avoid any disappointment, that the buildings previously on show will still remain covered and will not be visible. Excavation will also prove invaluable to ground truth the GPR results and assist in the interpretation of the rest of the data, not just for the Ness, but globally. Watch this space. As they say never. Fascinating. There's also an interview, a TimeTeam interview on their blog site, on their website, I think with Nick Card and John Gator. And what's very interesting about that, when they're sort of venturing to talk about this amazing special discovery, is the dynamic between them about their sort of how they're trying to cover up what they're what they've discovered and not spill the beans about it, and not get over ahead of over the tip of their skis, but at the same time remaining excited about it.
Yeah.
What we haven't told you is the GPR mapped a complex of buildings that we thought were going to be there. As we extended the survey beyond the monumental wall that defines the limits of the main complex, we actually started to reveal something that was quite unexpected. Totally. Something totally different to the rest of the buildings on the Ness. We just were not expecting this at all. My hope is that it's not a modern garden folly. That's my worry. It can't be. It can't be.
Nick's much better at at staying calm, isn't he? It
seems that way.
Yeah. But I mean, all round, it is going to be fascinating on so many levels, because not least of all that you can't say from scans, you can't say until it's excavated, what's the phase of this? Is it contemporary with Ness? Is it later? Is it earlier? It's just no way of knowing at the moment.
There was a clue in what John Gator said in the interview, that he said, I hope it's not a garden feature.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What is he expecting? A garden pond? I don't know. What do you think? What do you think they're talking about? I was going to say hiding. They're not, because they don't know what it is. Hence, the need to excavate.
Yeah, obviously, and you can completely understand them being cagey about it, because the trouble is that you know what it's like. As soon as you put something out openly into the public domain, then people just run with it, and you'd have all sorts of stuff all over the internet about what other people thought it would be, and you'd probably have all sorts of fanciful stuff coming up that would really not help. If people were writing their own articles about some extraterrestrial whatever that had been found, and and then when they come to excavate, it's something that under normal circumstances it would be exciting, but now because of what everybody else has been saying, it seems quite mundane. So I don't blame them for being cagey at all.
But you've got to give credence. You've got to give credence to the fact that they are both very seasoned operators. Yeah. So to see them not faking it, you can tell that under the surface they're really excited to find out what it is. And if they're excited to find out what it is, that is a very tantalizing thing, whether they intend it or not. But they're being genuine about it. That's what their excitement underneath the surface is genuine.
Yes, I mean, in some ways, we felt it was important to say something about this, because it clearly is going to be important. Whatever they find, the fact that something is sufficiently anomalous that. When they've only just said, a year ago, they've only just said, that's it, we're not excavating here anymore. But something's cropped up that it's going, no, we really need to do this. That alone tells you that this is hugely significant. But the thing that I'm most intrigued by is, Nick's description of, we know, all the things that we expect to see at the Ness, the style of everything at the Ness, the way culturally everything seems to have developed at the Ness. And here's something that doesn't fit that signature, if you like. So it's so intriguing. There's no point even trying to talk to them off the record, because they'd insist that we didn't see anything. And we wouldn't want to say anything anyway. It's not like you want to steal their thunder, for God's sake. But I'm going to be very impatient to find out what's coming out of there.
Yeah. So, folks, sorry we can't help you further, except to say that, underneath the surface, it looks like they think that they have an idea what they would like it to be, I think. And that's the thing they're not saying. So I wonder, what, another henge? How big? I mean, if John Gator is worrying that it's a garden feature, then it's probably not that big.
Well, which is why I say only glibly. I said, I wonder if it's a well, because
or maybe it's another maze how. Maybe it's another chambered tomb.
Hey, let's not.
It's not
do you-
taking bets.
Yeah. Do you know what? I do think this is probably a good time to big them up in the aspect of, obviously, if you like what we do, like and subscribe and have a look at our Patreon page as well, because there's so much stuff on there for patrons that doesn't go anywhere else. But the reason I'm prompted to say that is because TimeTeam also operate a Patreon page, and a lot of their funding I know comes through that as well. So if you're excited in this and that, have a look at their Patreon page as well, because they would certainly appreciate that.
I shall do the decent thing and put the link to their Patreon page down below, as well as ours. And not forgetting our Buy Me a Coffee page as well, which helps to fund, it wholly funds our Göbekli Tepe to Stonehenge project, of which this programme is not a part. You have to look in the links down below for that. But no, we've made a lot of films so far and loads to come, thanks to the generosity of people that have contributed to that. So I hope you can find it to have a look at that if you're looking for a way of supporting us beyond hitting the like and subscribe button. That's it. I think that's all we've got to say. Shortish but sweetish and tantalising all at the same time.
Well, we've said it many times, it's a watch this space, and we will be reporting back on it, as will they, but we'll be reporting on it as well when we do know whatever's coming out of these works. So it's all very exciting.
I wonder if I can make it a thing to go up to Orkney in July.
I think there might be quite a few people.
Might be quite a few people, but I wouldn't let that put me off. All right, folks, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching so far. And stay well. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye from me.
Take care. And bye from me. See ya.
There you go. We knew a little bit more than we thought we did, perhaps. And, yeah. 23 minutes. All very good. What do you think? Should I go up in July?